It's December 29th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a murder that shook the church, a life spared at the last moment, and a nation reborn. Let's begin. On December 29th, 1170, as dusk settled over Canterbury, the echo of boots rang through the stone corridors of the cathedral. Thomas Becket, Archbishop, former friend of the king, and now his most dangerous enemy, he knew they were coming. 4 knights, loyal to King Henry II, forced their way inside the sacred walls. Outside, winter winds howled. Inside, Becket refused to flee. He would not bow to royal authority. He would also not leave the altar. Witnesses said the confrontation was brief and terrifying. Steel was drawn in the house of God. Becket was struck again and again, his blood pooling on the cathedral floor. One final blow split his skull, shattering fragments inside the altar. The knights fled, leaving silence and horror behind them. News of the murder spread across Europe like wildfire. A priest slain in a cathedral was unthinkable. Almost immediately, pilgrims claimed miracles at the blood-stained site. Within 3 years, Becket was declared a saint. The king, who once called him friend, would spend the rest of his life haunted by a single, furious sentence, and the death it unleashed. Becket died at the altar, but his death reshaped kings, faith, and power across Europe, proving that martyrdom can be more dangerous than rebellion. On December 29, 1607, firelight flickered inside as a native council lodge as an English captive knelt on the ground. John Smith, explorer and soldier, believed he was about to die. According to his later account, large stones were dragged forward, warriors raised clubs, and then, at the last possible moment, a young girl stepped out of the shadows. Her name was Pocahontas. Smith would later claim that she threw herself across his body, pressing her head against his, silently begging her father to spare his life. But here's where the story grows darker. Smith never mentioned this dramatic rescue in earlier writings. It appears later, after Pocahontas became famous in England. Historians now believe what Smith witnessed may not have been a rescue at all, but a ritual adoption ceremony he misunderstood, or later reshaped. The truth may have died with those who stood by the fire that night, leaving behind the story, forever balanced between myth and memory. Between myths and misunderstandings, one moment became a legend, and the real story is very different from the Disney version. On December 29, 1937, as winter pressed against the streets of Dublin, a quiet transformation took place, one without gunfire, without crowds, and without ceremony. By dawn, Ireland was no longer the same country. With the signing of a new constitution, the Irish Free State vanished from history, and in its place took Ireland, known in its own language as Eyre. The document had been shaped under the direction of Edmund de Valera and approved months earlier by a national vote. It was this night, December 29th, when the power became real. Almost silently, the last meaningful tie to the British crowns were severed. The office of the Governor-General faded into obscurity, and a new role emerged instead. The President of Ireland, an integral head of state elected by the people, watching over the fragile democracy still haunted by revolution, civil war, and division. To the outside world, little seemed to change, but inside Ireland, sovereignty had finally been claimed, not with violence, but with ink, paper, and a midnight shift in history. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next Eerie dose is just a day away.